Welcome to Business Reporter's Future of Financial Services Banking and FinTech campaign. I'm Georgie Frost. The alternative investment ecosystem has witnessed substantial growth in recent years. But as the fund managers, institutional investors and service providers look to scale and expand across the globe, they face serious technological and regulatory challenges. In this three-part podcast series, we'll be exploring how ambitious firms can overcome the risks in order to grow and continue to gain competitive advantage. In this first episode, we'll be looking at surely one of the greatest challenges, but also the greatest opportunities for firms: AI. Joining me to discuss this is Hank Boughner, CEO of Dynamo Software. Hank, hi, welcome. Now, when we last met in 2022, we explored the state of the alternative investment space, didn't we, and where it's heading. We looked at the impact of the changing world of work, ESG performance reporting, and investor onboarding. But in this series, we're going to focus on the next step of this journey. As I said, the scaling up. So just remind us, if you would, of the growth of this industry and outline the main challenges facing alternative firms as they expand.
Yeah, thanks, Georgie, and it's great to be with you again from our prior Vodcast. So the main point is, how do firms that are going through all this great opportunity think about scaling their business in a reasonable way, and a thoughtful way, in a way that positions them for the future? A lot of the firms that maybe 10 years ago had one strategy, maybe a couple of funds raised to go after, say, private equity and mid-market buyout, have now expanded quite a bit. They now have multiple strategies, multiple ways they're thinking about deploying capital in regions across the globe, whether it's New York, San Francisco, London, Dubai, Hong Kong, Singapore. So it's very exciting times indeed. The main challenge, and this is what we call growth, complexity, chaos, is how do you scale the firm? Where they once may have been smaller firms, smaller individual or smaller teams working on deals, working on opportunities, now they have a global perspective, and they have to have the technologies, the processes, the personnel in place to really scale up to meet the challenges and the opportunities in the alternative space. Technology is a key player, and the main point for most participants in the ecosystem is how are you going to scale your firm, what people, processes, technologies are you going to put in place to handle this growth, complexity, chaos.
It's sort of a good problem to have, isn't it, Hank? You're looking to grow, but of course there are challenges to it. And the biggest one that we wanted to focus on first, I guess, the hot topic, and that is AI. So it's been around, of course, for many years, but it's taken a completely new trajectory recently with the emergence of ChatGPT and generative AI. So how are you seeing AI and Gen AI affecting the alternative space, and the good and the bad?
Yeah, well, it's certainly getting a lot of attention right now, AI in general. And the key question I think most folks has is, how will it be impacting my business model or my industry? And so what we think about is, how do we make this real for the business that we're in and real for other business models that we see out there in the marketplace? Now, if you step back and look at some data, again, there's a lot of data out there right now, but U.S. News has a data point that 2.6 billion impact from AI in the asset management business in 2022. Now, to put that in perspective, most opportunities that you might look at, or addressable markets, if you're a software company or a technology provider, may be $500 million to $2 billion per year. This is 2.6 billion in one subsector. So AI is clearly there, and it's growing in the financial services industry. This particular report had it growing at 25% per year through 2030. A lot of folks will wonder, wait, isn't this just a lot of hype? It's just all hype. What I tend to look at is it tangible? And can you have near-term results from AI? And I'm pleased to report, yes, we see this at Dynamo, and we see it across the industry. You can start with simple things like job specs, or things in automated processes that you have in your own business, to see how AI is impacting things across a range of opportunities. In fact, there was a recent Harvard Business Review article that came out that said across all industries, across the GDP, across everything, over 40% of workable hours could be impacted. Now you think about that. Then you turn to financial services, and you see that in financial services, it's around 70%, give or take, and that's for like capital markets, banking, and insurance. So clearly those processes that may be more data-centric, more automated, more repetitive, up there as potentials for AI to impact. So we try to follow these trends, we watch them closely, and think about how that may impact those of us like Dynamo in the technology industry in the alternative space with activities that general partners may be doing or limited partners may be doing. So a lot of excitement for sure.
A lot of excitement, but Hank, this area is moving, as we know, just so fast. So how can firms keep up? Is there a blueprint that they can follow? Walk me through it.
Yeah, you know, the way we think about this, Georgie, is it's always important to have a framework. I've been in technology markets for over 2 decades, and it's important to have a perspective and then be able to judge that framework as it changes over time. It's going to adjust and move, but at least you can see where the milestones are. One of the ones from we have 2 private equity backers, and one of the ones that they shared, or a framework, is for AI. And it's very helpful and interesting to see their perspectives. I won't go through it all, but it starts off with AI as an umbrella, and then machine learning right underneath it, which many of us have been doing for years. We've had machine learning inside of Dynamo since 2016, for example, doing easier tasks like email scans. And then as you move past machine learning, which again, mostly is driven by data algorithms, reading data points and extrapolating information using statistical methods. That's the machine learning. And as you expand into the more deep learning models, that would be like predictive AI and generative AI, which you just asked about. Now, predictive AI is pretty interesting. It's like an enhancement of machine learning is how I simplify it, where you basically put an overlay of the neural networks or the thinking on top of those data algorithms. And so you get much better answers. And that's what we do at Dynamo today are some of our early development on shifting from machine learning or augmenting what it's doing and getting more predictive, better answers because of the thinking part. And then generative AI sure does get a lot of kind of interest from the media these days. And that's where you're taking a lot of content, a lot of summaries, and AI is distilling it into a more readable format. So for example, if you're a law firm, you could go back and look at 10 years worth of cases and have a summary of those. Now, I would caution, it's very important as you think about that to have an associate review that because AI is still developing, but you can see where this is headed. We use this in Dynamo today, for example, where we go back and look at summaries of client meetings that someone may have had. And what is the summary of 10 years or 5 years worth of meetings? What are the key points that they need to come away with? So the main point again is it's important to have a framework. Think about your framework and how the tangible items are impacting that, discussions you're having with your team, and how you need to augment or adjust that framework as the market for AI develops.
How are firms thinking about and using AI currently? Are we over or underestimating its impact?
Well, I think it's hard to tell at this point. It is early days in this game of AI, but it's fair to say that there's a lot of attention being given to those tangible processes that could be impacted, that are repetitive, and you'd be able to put an AI natural language model on to decipher and come up with some answers. So for example, if you look at OpenAI's website, you can find ChatGPT 3.5 versus 4.0 improvements. And what they did is they took high school classes, as well as like the law bar exam, and things of that nature. And on the right side, put those which are more data-centric and more data point-oriented, like history classes or psychology, or something on that nature. On the left side are things a little bit less structured, maybe calculus, English literature, or the law exam. And in the early days of 3.5, you would get very high performance on the grades for AI taking the tests on the data-centric ones, and lower scores on things like calculus and English literature. It makes sense. But then you fast forward to 4.0, ChatGPT 4.0, and you have substantial improvement even on the unstructured side. So the important thing is, as you think about companies and how they're interpreting this, it's not where we are just today. It's where are we going to be in 6 months? Where are we going to be in 12 months and a year? And how are you, or 2 years? And how are you thinking about this from your business model and areas that could be impacted very positively from AI? And how would you incorporate that into your business?
What is Dynamo Software doing?
Well, we've been very active, as I mentioned earlier in the questions, on the machine learning side for a number of years. And we've extrapolated that over the last 5 or 6 years into our AI program and efforts in the last 6 to 12 months in particular. And so for years, we've been doing things like emails. When emails come in to our company or for our customers, we can scan them. We can look for key terms in those emails using machine learning algorithms, and then pull data into our CRM platform readily. It saves everyone a lot of time. You don't have to put in the documents. You don't have to put the email person. Is the contact already in the CRM system? Their phone number in the CRM system? All that can be pulled out. We've also used RPA technology, robotic automation technology, that allows you to go out and extract information or pull information from various portals that we use to get information from GPs, general partners, or limited partners. So it's been quite active for us. Now what we've been doing with the AI front is expanding on that, just like I mentioned on the framework side, into more areas on the emails where if we don't quite get the algorithms right and the confidence intervals, the AI can kind of close some of that gap. And it gets really good in terms of the performance lift that you can see. We also have a range of different summary pieces that we're working on where you look at 5 to 10 years worth of a customer interaction. You're walking into a meeting in 2 days or the next hour, and I need a summary really quick. Go through and scan what are the key points that the executive needs to see. That's what we're working through now and have been for a period of time. So lots of exciting areas there. We continue to work on other items like auto-categorization. All the documents that we see coming into the CRM system, can we rapidly see if it's a capital call, a distribution notice, is it a financial statement, and are we getting that allocation or categorization correct so we can put it in the right spot in Dynamo or highlight for our customers. So it's a very big opportunity for us at Dynamo. We work on it regularly, and more to come certainly in the next 1 to 3 years. We're really excited about it, Georgie.
Great stuff. But always a tough question to answer, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Where do you see all of this headed, Hank?
Well, that really is the $64,000 question, right? Everyone's trying to, pontificate into the future or think through what it might look like in 5 to 10 to 15 years. We've all seen Arnold's movie and Terminator and recent discussions of DeepMind and the founder there with Elon Musk about, well, what if AI follows you to Mars? So we can certainly spend time extrapolating on that. What I try to do in running a business and in working with our customers is think about, again, what's tangible, what's here today and what's in the near future. Where are those items that could be really addressable for us to look through to make their lives easier? If I can shave off 1, 2, 3, 4 hours, or our software can really help out our customers reduce their time on repetitive tasks, that's time that frees up not only their mental energy, but time during the day to go work on more productive things. And that's a very important aspect with us at Dynamo as to how we think about it. So what we do in helping us think through that near to midterm perspective is make it tangible. Are we meeting frequently and having conversations amongst our team about what the changes are? By frequently, I mean weekly. I'm on calls with our technology group, our developers, our general counsel, because there's a data element here in terms of what data is moving around. Does data leave the platform, not leave the platform? Of course, we keep it in our platform, but if data does leave, what pieces could leave? And then focus on that tangible theme that you keep hearing me say, because boy, it sure is important to have results that say, here's what we're doing in AI, where we're seeing incremental benefit. And so all of those are key points as to where is this headed in the near to midterm. That's where I like to focus. The near to medium side, and then the long term will take care of itself.
Hank Boughner, CEO of Dynamo Software, thank you so much.